Today on Corporals Corner, we're searching for a van with Buckeye Bushcraft. Right now we got our 2-hour drive home, and then we'll continue the video at my property. We just purchased a 2012 GMC Savannah extended cargo van, and it has 70,000 miles on a rebuilt transmission and engine, so I'm happy with that. Cosmetically, there's not a lot of things wrong with it. Minor things, dents, scratches. We got a arm on the chair over there that's broken. We swapped it out from a junkyard. I don't really care about that. The things that concern me is like removing this partition. There's several cargo shelving systems back there, and drawers and boxes and junk like that that I don't want. So it's going to be a matter of simply unbolting all that stuff and then chucking it. And we'll get started on that as soon as I get home. But this is it. And this is the start of hopefully something great and many videos to come. So with that, I'm going to get home and then we'll get her done. Now, before we get too far down the trail, don't forget we have pre-orders for our stainless steel cowboy skillet. This one right here is my pride and joy. We moved from carbon steel over to stainless. We switched over last week, and we're doing pre-orders. Go to my website, corporalscorner.com. That link is located in my video description box. Once you're there, check out the skillet, a skillet bag and patch. Whoa, most importantly, we have the Corporals Corner Bushcraft rucksack. Once again, it's corporalscorner.com, and that link is located in my video description box. All right, so here we are. It's about 20 degrees Fahrenheit, but that sun feels really good. Looking at this, first off, my impression is everything must go. This right here, this whole shelving unit, these drawers are not even bolted down. They're just free floating. So stuff like this, I can just drag it out. The shelving system back here, we'll check that out in a minute. It appears to be fastened at the top and maybe 1 or 2 self-tapping screws at the bottom. So not a very good job, but that makes my job that much easier. This side over here, we have another shelving system and drawers, kind of like a file cabinet. And that one's actually attached, but it's the same exact system at the top and a few at the bottom over there. So let me grab my tools and we'll get her done. This worked out pretty well for me because Jake Trent of Buckeye Bushcraft, shout out to him. He's the one that gave me a ride to Columbus to pick up this van. He had this in his truck and he's like, hey man, do you want this to add to your insulated value when you actually start doing your build? And I was like, hell yeah. So we'll put this aside and then drag this out. One down. I mean, that's to be expected. I mean, it's a 2012. At least there's no like hypodermic needles or anything inside here. Now I'm torn on this, and we'll come back to it. And here's why I'm torn on it, because one, it's incomplete. I have to go get some type of lock to actually be able to lock this. What they've done is they put a bolt here and here to keep it from opening up. That's probably also why they had that shelving system or the drawers right here. I'm also torn because there's no access from the cab to back here unless I put a lock on here. But then once I do the build, if I'm back here or I want to secure all my stuff back here, if somebody were to break in, they got to break into this to get back here. So, I mean, like I said, I'm torn. For right now, let's go ahead and get the rest of this stuff out and we'll come back to this. All right, so one down, one to go. This thing here, I noticed there was a couple of self-tapping screws down here. So let's see if we can get that. There's one. And of course, that's the wrong size there. There we go. But it's screwed into that as well. And there it is. Really? I'm not too concerned about messing the floor up as matting because I'm going to order some new stuff and pull it out. And we're probably going to insulate the floor too. And there she is. And that one there is kind of dented, but doesn't really matter. There's no more screws in there. Right now it's being held up. And I think it's that coat rack right there on the inside. And I think it's pushed too far over. So sitting in there to be to the right. If I can adjust it or just take it off. Let's go on the inside and see what we can do there. That washer right there is stopping the door from opening. So if I take off that coat rack, we should be in business. There's our coat rack. So now let's go ahead and try to open the door. There we go. So yeah, it does open. And I could get it closed. Just a matter of getting a locking mechanism. But I can already see that whoever installed this didn't do it the right way. It's not plumbed up. It's also busted right here. So it'd be a matter of trying to adjust all this. The bottom wants to kick forward. So even if it was locked right here, it's still going to do that. It needs to be brought forward and turned this way. I don't know. Right now I'm not convinced on this. I'm not. I'm really not. Not to mention, taking out this matting, it's underneath this. So in order to take this out, I got to take that off anyways. So with that said, I'm going to pull it out. However, drop a comment in the comment section and tell me what you think I should do. Should I keep it and reinstall it at a later date, or just trash it with the rest of that garbage and move on? Fused on nuts and bolts, no problem. I was an iron worker. This whole system should fall forward. Be careful of the wires up there. Cool. There we go. Now the one thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my feet against this rib right here. and my head's right there. I'm 6'1", and there's still about a good 2 inches of clearance. So it's about 6'3", 6'4", to where the panel will be for the wall. I'm going to insulate between these ribs right here, and then run a panel across here and screw it in. So where am I going with this? I guarantee I can get a full-size bed right here, right above these wheel wells. And that's one reason why I chose the GMC Savannah, is that the width of this is far superior to most vans. All the ones I was looking at, they were like 5 and 8 inches, 5'10". A lot of the builds, if you put your mattress this way, people were actually cutting the foam mattress, placing it in there. If you go this way, you're going to eat up a bunch of space. And to be honest, just by tearing out that partition, it looks a hell of a lot larger on the inside, just like Doctor Who's TARDIS. It does. It just gives that appearance of more room. So I'm actually happy with this. Now, here's where I'm going with this. Before people say, well, you should do this, and you should do that, and you should do this, you should buy this, I should do all those things. But we have time and money. My time is 60 hours a week in my shop, producing my pride and joy, my cookware. And I have about 4 or 5 different things coming out this year. This is going to be one of those things that we do in between, like on rainy days, snowy days. We'll build maybe once or twice a month, probably once a month. And we're going to just see where it evolves. But first thing is first. I just bought this. I gave it a good once over with Jake Trent, and we didn't see any leaks or anything major on this. But I want to get it into a mechanic shop. I want them to do a transmission service, a radiator flush. I want them to do an oil change and just assess everything and see if there's anything that I'm going to need to do. I want to be able to pick this thing up and just drive cross country if I need to. This summer, I'm going to do what I've been talking about doing for several years. We're going to hit the road. I want to find creeks. I want to find rivers, streams, lakes. I want to go places where most people don't go to, and go out there for a day, 2 or 3, and actually just fish and enjoy myself, and just hit the road, and do that a couple times a month. And I want a command center that I can take with me. So this build's going to involve solar panels at some point. Until then, we have our Blue Eddy. I have a power source in here. I want to get wiring done for charging stations. I want some type of furniture. It's going to be basic, bare bones. A nice pantry that will hold maybe 2 weeks worth of food. One of those coolers that you can plug into your power pack or your solar panels, where it keeps it basically like a refrigerator. Any type of meat products are in there. Again, a pantry, a couple drawers for clothes, a bed. Until then, I'm already seeing openings all along the ceiling here that I could probably run tube steel in there and hang a hammock if I wanted to. There's that rectangle hole I was talking about, and they actually make tube steel that will actually fit that. You got one in the back corner, and you got one over here, but you got all the options in between, all the way over to the front, where you have the exact same configuration right there. So there's tons of ideas and tons of options with these GMC Savannahs. Again, this is a 2012, and just going on YouTube and just typing in GMC Savannah in whatever year you want, there's just tons of conversions. Just your limit is your imagination. So this would be a good project that we can do, like I said, a couple times a month, and I'm looking forward to it. If any of you that watch my channel have one of these and have done certain things, let me know. Hit me up, message me on Facebook or Instagram, and send me any type of specs or companies that you've used or ideas, and I'd appreciate it, because that'd be a step in the right direction of actually planning this thing out. Like I said, first things first, mechanic work. Then from there, I want to look at basic beds, things like that. I want to get this flooring taken out. Probably the first thing I do is the flooring. Rip all this out. I want to insulate the flooring, insulate the walls, get wall and ceiling panels. Then we can go from there. Because all the panels I looked at, they're 100% removable. They actually fit inside these tiny little grooves right here. So you can just put like a little bracket in there, screw into it, and then just take it right back off with no damage to your frame. And if you look at the ceiling, and I'll show you that in a minute, there's already holes up there where panels would actually go, and the same thing, just screw right into them. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I want to pull it down and add some wiring and pull down panel number 3 and just take it off. And, you know, and I could add a ceiling fan or air conditioning unit or whatever down the road. So here's our plastic. This is where the mat starts. You see it's well used. That's disgusting, but simply scrubbing that out and then hose this thing out. Get that 1-inch foam insulating board, place it down on here, wood across the top of that, or in between it, like slats, and then plywood on top. Then one more of these mats, and I think we'll be in business. Here's the roof rack that came with this. You can put pipes on here, ladders, etc. I'm gonna leave this in place because down the road we talked about solar panels. This is already here. And if you look at it bows down this way and that way. If I place the panels in the center, I want some way to tilt them towards the setting of the sun or the rising of the sun. And I think I can incorporate this into that build. The best part is it just attaches to that side lip right there. So worst case, if I decide I don't want this, I can just unbolt it and pull it right off. On that note, let's go ahead and get out of here. Don't forget, we got the 100 Corporals Corner stainless steel cowboy skillets dropping to my website as we speak. That link is located in my video description box. Now please do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button, then ring that notification bell. Once you ring that bell, please select all notifications. And as always, thank you for your comments, views, and support. Thanks for watching. Get out in the field, have some fun. I'm gonna catch you next time.